have a funny story to tell you, but it's kind of embarrassing.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hi, Sarah.
Tell us. We need something to get us through.
Okay, so you know how when we started this podcast, we had a segment called What Stupid Shit Did Caitlin Do This Week?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
We had like the ordering of the pizza and then the second ordering of the pizza, and we had the little laundry baskets and putting together to the table. Wow, I've done a lot of stupid shit.
Patio furniture.
Yeah, so I have a new one for you.
What'd you do?
Okay, bear with me. It's not a super long story, but so last week I had kind of a rough day in isolation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, I'm going to, I want to relax after work. So I'm going to, I had planned it out already. And I was like, as soon as work is over, I want to, take a bath, which I never do, and, pour a glass of wine or whatever.
Self-care.
Yes. And I, never take a bath, but I always clean my tub before I take a bath.
Yeah, I do too. Even if it's fine to shower in, I'm like, I need to make sure because my body will be in this.
Exactly. And soap scum or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'll clean my tub on my lunch break. And that way, as soon as work is done, I'm literally pouring wine and hop in the tub, right? So I grab the spray and I, clean the tub, take my bath, pour my wine, whatever. So then the next day, my cat threw up on the carpet and I was like, oh, I need the carpet cleaner. And then it clicked in my head. So I realized that my red spray bottle of carpet cleaner was under the bathroom sink. And then I was like, yep, that is the same spray bottle that I grabbed yesterday to clean the tub, didn't look at. So I, without noticing, I grabbed carpet cleaner, didn't look at the bottle, sprayed my whole tub, cleaned with it. And literally the next day when I was like, gotta clean the carpet, a switch went off in my head and was like, you use fucking carpet cleaner to clean your tub. That's how fast I put it together. So I cleaned my tub with carpet cleaner.
Wow, that's a whole new level of Caitlin.
I didn't even, who picks up a spray bottle and doesn't even look at, I didn't even look at, clearly I didn't look at it.
Well, to be fair, my yellow spray bottle is my bleach one. And when I see that it's yellow, that's what it is. So if I were to get a different yellow bottle, I'd probably still think it was my bleach bottle.
Okay, but this isn't a red spray bottle that I poured carpet cleaner into. This is a red spray bottle that has a picture of a dog and a cat on the front and says Resolve Carpet Cleaner.
Okay, I was trying to make you feel better.
Oh, you don't need to. I know where I stand.
And where you lie. And it's in a carpet cleaned tub.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you a tub that has shag carpet on the outside.
So shower beer comes full circle. Replace beer with carpet cleaner.
And that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for the next story of what stupid stuff did Caitlin.
I went a while without doing something extremely stupid. Thank you very much.
I mean, you went a while without sharing something. I don't know.
I dated a guy once who told me all the time that for a smart person, I do a lot of dumb things.
I don't know if that's nice or not. I think it's not.
I mean, it's accurate.
I don't think I did anything dumb this week. I probably did. I did cut Evan's hair by myself, and I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, that's the dumb thing she did. Just kidding. It looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very proud.
How long did it take you?
2 hours. Should not take someone 2 hours to cut hair, I don't think, but I wanted to get it right.
So just so the listeners know, Sarah's never cut hair before. Ben's hair.
I've cut women's hair straight across.
Okay, so did you watch any videos or did you just jump in?
I watched a YouTube video.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. How are you guys doing out there? We hope that you're doing well in week 1,849 million of isolation.
Squared.
We did a fun little Instagram story. You can follow us at LuminalPod, but it was what day of quarantine are you in? The highest number gets a sticker. And I don't know if you saw it or not, Caitlin. And people were 6 weeks. And I'm like, what? That's insane.
Did you not see my answer? Because I saw your smart ass reply.
So I said, how many days of quarantine have you been in? Caitlin, what did you say?
500.
And then what did I say?
Is that bottles of wine or days?
But anyways, then a few people were like, I can't quarantine because I'm an essential worker and I'm scared. And I was like, okay, that's sad too. So we'll also send you stickers. I'm sorry. I didn't think about that. So we're sending quite a few stickers out to people.
Yeah. Send us your addresses.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about our theme. Let's talk about our beer. First, let's give a Patreon shout out, and then we'll talk about those things. Sound good? So let's talk about our new patrons really quick. We have Keely, Dawn, Misty, and Paige, and Sarah.
I have already chatted with most of you, and I know 2 of you, and I love all of you.
You guys are so amazing on our Patreon page. Like, you're keeping it lit in there, and I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone else is too, but like you guys came in strong. And then I also just wanted to give a shout out because quite a few people upped the pledge, which was awesome. We had Megan, Chloe, Molly, Erica, Jana, Heather, and Ashley. So like you guys rock. And it's such a cool time to see this. And we know that it's strange times and harder times. And the fact that you guys were like willing to be like, yeah, I'll support you just even that little bit more is super meaningful. And we really appreciate it.
Okay, I don't know if any of you guys are Harry Potter fans.
Yes.
But I kind of feel like we're building our version of Dumbledore's army.
I absolutely feel that way.
Okay, this is a good time to say, disclaimer, Sarah and I, like a handful of other popular true crime podcasts, we talk about true crime, we talk about murders, we talk about murder victims, we talk about conspiracies, a whole bunch of very dark subjects, but we add humor.
We never ever make jokes at the expense of a victim's family. We don't think murder's funny. We don't want people to die. That seems like something we shouldn't have to say.
Yeah. When we decided to do this podcast, we record as if there were no microphones and it was just Sarah and I sitting here having a conversation
over a beer.
Yeah. And that's, that's not for everyone and we get it. But we just want to say that we are not laughing at victims or at the expense of victims. We will laugh at any fucking
anything
murderer.
Else. And anything else.
Anytime we get the chance, we will poke fun at the murderer and make fun of their name. We will make fun of their haircut. We will make fun of any possible thing we can because they are pieces of shit.
Yep. Yeah, we don't want to offend anyone. So if you feel like that's not for you, this might not work out.
Oh, I do. If you don't like us on the podcast, then you wouldn't like us in real life. And it's kind of your loss. So just saying. Theme is asylums. I said it really fast before Sarah could say it.
So our theme is asylums that Caitlin just told you.
Tell us about our beer.
Our beer.
Now.
Okay. We are having a Tempe local beer, Tempe, Arizona, from The Shop Beer Co., which I always call it the beer shop, but that's not accurate as I read this can. This is Church Music. It is an IPA. It is a delicious beer that is 6.7% alcohol by volume, and it's a juicy IPA. On the can, it says, sometimes you get shown the light in the strangest of places if you look at it right. Jerry Garcia, The Grateful Dead.
And it's made for drinking in church.
As was I. The wine Catholics. I see you out there. You know what I'm talking about.
All right. Pour it up. Excuse me, sir.
I'd like to make a toast.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Can I have some toast?
This is a very, very drinkable, great, delicious beer. Thank you.
I love this beer. It's very hoppy. Not sure it would be for everyone.
I disagree. I don't think it's very hoppy.
Really? I get a lot of hop with this. All right. I'm going to tell you the asylum story of Andre Rand, also known as Frank Rushan.
Oh, you're talking about a person, not an actual...
I'm talking about a person and the Willowbrook Asylum.
Oh, okay. I'm in.
Okay. Wikipedia, Murderpedia, All That's Interesting, an article by Heidi Evans for the New York Daily News, and the Charlie Project.
Did Katie Serena write your All That's Interesting article?
You know what? It didn't have a name on it.
Oh.
Yeah, which was weird. Usually it shows who wrote it.
But it was Katie Serena. I love her.
Trigger warning. This has crimes against children. A lot of crimes against children. There's sexual assault, but again, I won't go into detail, and murder. And then it's kind of trigger warning. It's kind of a messed up case. If this is your first time listening and you don't have a ton of experience with true crime, you might want to listen to a different episode first.
Or skip ahead to my case.
Or skip ahead to about the middle of the episode. When you hear a lot of laughter, we're probably like in between stories. So I'm going to tell you the story of Frank Rushan, better known as Andre Rand, as well as the Children's Psychiatric Hospital he worked at and an urban legend that combines all of that. Frank was born on March 11th of 1944. And little is known about his childhood, but he was raised in New York and he had a sister. And according to his sister, the two didn't suffer any child abuse when they were children, any abuse at all. I'm saying that because sometimes that can be an indicator of what's to come in extreme cases. So at least not from their parents. And that's also her experience. That's what she said. So who knows? We don't have that testimony from Frank's side. Their mother had mental health issues. And when Frank was just 14 years old, his dad died. And so his mom ended up being institutionalized at a psychiatric center in Brentwood, New York. And after this, Frank and his sister would visit their mom at this psychiatric center called the Pilgrim Psychiatric Center. In the mid-60s, Frank changed his name, and the reason is unknown why. During this time, he was in his early 20s, and he got a new job at a different local psychiatric hospital that was built to look like the psychiatric hospital his mom was in, but this one was for children, and it was called the Willowbrook State School.
Wait, so he changed his name from Frank to Andre?
Yeah.
I would have done the opposite.
You want to be a Frank?
Frank is a better name.
Frankly speaking.
Andre, obviously. No, that doesn't work.
We tried, though. So Willowbrook was a funded institution for children with intellectual handicaps, and it was located on Staten Island in New York. Willowbrook was built on 375 sprawling acres and had large brick buildings, gorgeous landscaping. Like, it looked like a little postcard picture of a place. The children lived there full time. So the children that were housed there were like children with autism, children with extreme Down syndrome, like just different children with different mental handicaps, also schizophrenia and other things like that. This is a whole different story, and I'm not going to get into it. But in this time, it was really common for people who had families with a child with a mental handicap to just hide them. Mm-hmm. And so it was really common for them to be sent away somewhere, and people didn't know that they existed. Like, what? You have another daughter? Like, they would just pretend the person didn't exist sometimes because they were embarrassed. It was taboo. We still have a lot of way to go as a society, but things are much different than that now.
Yeah. So this is a very tangent what's the word I'm looking for? Relevant.
Yeah.
I was going to say relatable. This is a very relevant tangent, but there is a TED Talk that I love and I've watched at least 50 times by Andrew Solomon. Mm-hmm. And he's talking about like the power of love and all these different communities of people. But in the very beginning, he reads, like he just jumps right in and he reads. And he's basically like, people who have Down syndrome, like aren't really, I'm just paraphrasing, but they're not really people. They don't really deserve life. They should just be like put down in a sense or hidden away. Like he reads this thing and then he goes, that was from Time magazine in like 1973 or something. Like, not that long ago, but he reads and you're like, what the fuck are you saying? And he's like, and from Time magazine. And it's just, that is literally, that was an article. Yeah. If you have a child with Down syndrome, just hide them or put them down like they're a dog. Yeah. Like that is insane to me. I can't even imagine that thought.
And that wasn't that long ago. And so that's kind of what was happening at Willowbrook and all of the institutes that were children institutes. Yeah. Like it was children that they were just like, I need to get rid of this child. Yeah. It's absolutely terrible. So Willowbrook had the capacity for 4,000 students and was the largest state-run institution for children with intellectual disabilities and anyone with intellectual disabilities in the entire country. Frank, who we'll now call Andre because he changed his name to Andre, was hired and he worked there for about 2 years to be a custodian and an orderly and a physical therapist for the children at Willowbrook. He also told them his last name was Bruchette, so he went by Andre Bruchette.
To be frank, I don't think he's qualified to talk about bruschetta.
To be frank, I believe that he's not qualified to be Andre.
To be frank, he had to be Andre. To be Andre, he had to be Frank.
Bruschetta. Oh. And again, now I want bruschetta, but not this bruschetta. I want Italian food.
I'm not a doctor.
This just gets weird. I'm not a doctor. I can't. We're going to get into things really quick here because Andre is a terrible person. So at this time, Andre kidnapped and attempted to rape a 9-year-old girl in the Bronx.
Jesus. Outside of the hospital.
Outside of the hospital, unrelated to the hospital, even though he was working full-time with children.
Okay.
And he served 16 months in a plea deal.
16 whole months?
Yeah.
Wow, so long.
After that, he lost his job. Now, I will say there is differing information everywhere you look about this guy. Like some people say he did this thing in the 70s, and then some people are like, no, he did that in 82. And like, there's kind of some time issues with this case, but I tried to pick times that were like reported by multiple people that seemed like that was the most reported.
Okay.
So there could be some inaccuracies in timeline, but all of this stuff happened at some
We're
point.
blaming you for those inaccuracies.
I'm blaming bruschetta. So during this time, Willowbrook is also going through its own challenges. So Andre's like serving time now for this attempted rape, and Willowbrook has issues too. So for some reason, outbreaks of hepatitis kept happening at the school. If you don't know much about hepatitis, which I didn't, but there are a variety of types of hepatitis, And though we know that now, in the 70s, we didn't know a ton about how they were transferred, like contagiously.